It's Ramsey Dewey over here at the Animal MMA Gym in Shanghai, China. We had a question from our friend Jordan about catching kicks. So when you spar light, we go light. It's easy to slow down, right? To slow down our kicks, to slow down our punches for safety, right? Whereas if we go really fast, it's harder to control the power, right? So how is it that I can throw kicks slow and controlled and at the same time train more realistically? Well, think of it this way. Use control on the way out, but snap it fast on the way back in, right? So if you think about traditional martial arts like karate and taekwondo, where you snap the kick, it's fast because we pull it back fast. Tian, I want you to throw a kick here. Okay. And now it's easy to catch. And if I can catch it, I can take him down lots of different ways, right? So one more time. Now he's just feeding at me, so it's easy to catch, right? Like that. If I throw it slow, boom, easy to catch. Now if it comes up slow, but I pull it back fast, now it's hard to catch. So Tian, I want you to do the same thing. Pull it back fast. Need a key. No, quite. I don't know if I said that right. Yeah. Again. 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 So even though I'm making contact, it's not really coming out faster, but it's coming back faster. It's the same principle of punching. If you want to speed up your punches, it's not about how fast it goes out. I mean, that's great if you got a fast acceleration outward, but how fast you pull it back is going to determine how much quicker you can get the next one out there. Out, back in, out, back in, out, back in. Right? Same idea with a kick. If I throw a side kick, and I just leave it there forever, it's easy to catch. Right? Now if I go really rigid, and then pull it back really fast, now this is good. So I throw the side kick, I pull it back. And we do the same. Yes, again. So even though I'm making contact, again, the speed of pulling it back, again, makes it much harder to catch. So I want you to kick me very light, but pull the kick back very fast.
就轻轻的踢，然后快速的收回。
So make contact, light contact, but pull the kick
很
back.
轻的，但快点收回去。
Okay, now faster. Faster. Faster.
快一点。
Faster. So he's throwing a super light contact kick, but this is a kick that we can use when we spar. Now it's hard to catch. Now it's a realistic speed. And I know you like to throw power into your kicks. I understand that. If I'm throwing kicks in the bag, I want those things just explode and break through stuff, right? But I'm telling you, when you spar, we can't afford to break our partners, obviously. But we also have to train more realistically. So when I throw these kicks, snap them back quick. This is just a good defensive and offensive habit. Because once I snap it back, I re-chamber for the next one. Right? You don't have to do the Bill Wallace, kick him 300 times, do your best impersonation of Chun-Li or whatever. But, well, yes, do that. Do your best impersonation of Bill Wallace. Do your best impersonation of Chun-Li. Chamber, re-chamber, chamber, re-chamber. Right? Do it fast. Even with the punches, pull them back fast. That being said, I was sparring today with one of my students. I'm doing one of my favorite setups for a head kick. I think I knocked this hand down, and I bring this up, and I stop my leg here. And what did you do? You grab it. No, it's like, do now. Okay, and you got a takedown. Oh. Okay, now I've seen some people in this situation get mad and be like, oh, he wouldn't have caught that kick if it was real. I know that. I know how hard I can kick, and I know, okay, since I'm pulling the kick, I've been in situations, I've been in fights where I threw a kick up here and it didn't knock him out, and the guy kept going, even when I put everything into it. And he grabbed the kick and he took me down anyway, or pushed me up against the fence, forced me to do the splits or something crazy like that. So you have to be prepared for every contingency, right? You can't just think every strike I land is going to make the person explode. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. I remember I had a Taekwondo tournament once where I landed a little snap upside the head with like no power that dropped the guy. He was out cold. And my first pro kickboxing fight, I threw a heavy one, boom, all my power, and he kept coming, and he didn't slow down. So we have to prepare for that contingency. When you go light, right, and pull everything, boom, and he keeps coming, that's okay. Prepare for that contingency. Prepare for the guy that you can't stop with that one hit, one kill, like you train ideally, right? So, and if he does catch that kick, good, because you need to train for that contingency too, right? Other times I'll train with guys who, their kick catching maybe isn't as good as mine, but I want to train my ground game too. So, I'll give him a chance to catch it, and work his takedowns. Okay, takedown. Right. How do you say takedown? Okay, catch. Takedown. Okay. And now I got a chance to work my guard here. He's got a chance to work his offense. Right, I got a chance to work my get-ups, leg kicks from here, up kicks, right, sweeps, right, and all this other stuff I might not otherwise be able to train with a guy I could just blast through with a side kick or a teep or something like that. Now, the second thing that you really need to focus on as far as your kicks and people catching them is the setup. Sometimes you can throw that perfect snap kick and you're just fighting someone who is fast enough and good enough and timing you and programming you well enough that they're going to get that anyway, right? So we're going to set this stuff up. So why are we throwing a side kick? Just to smash him? Sometimes, but how about we throw it as a counter? Maybe I throw a kick here, boom, and I pull it back, and now I get within leg kick range, and now I know there's a high probability right here he's going to throw a leg kick because I just kicked him, and two, I'm at the perfect distance for him to leg kick me. So, as soon as I see a movement, boom, I'm going to throw a teep with my other leg or with this one, boom, and knock him off balance or knock him down completely. Why is this going to work? Because he's up on one leg now. Now I predicted his behavior. So one more time, I'm here fighting, boom, I kick the leg, I back up a little, boom. That's the same position where I could catch it or I can counter with a teep. How about a side kick? Side kicks are great to set up your other kicks with. Let's say I'm up here, boom, and I throw a kick at the leg, side kick, boom, right? I'll throw a couple of these, boom, and then I'll set up my hook kick right there. Or maybe I'll throw it with my lead, or that side kick to the body, and the side kick to the leg. Set up my back kick, right? Or side kicks are great to set up the head kicks. Okay? What else? So if you have a good setup for the teeps and the side kicks, other than blasting the guy with power, you want to blast the guy with power at the right time and the right place. And even when you go light, I'm going to stand up on one leg, and I want you to push kick and teep. Yeah, so push. Yes, now do the same thing when I'm up here. Push, push, forward. Okay. Now that was like a kick with no power in it, but because I'm up here, what happened? He's going very light. This is a friendly level of power. But I'm up on one leg, push. Okay? And even with just a little tap of the toe, he's having me stumbling. Now, put a little power, just a little power. Okay? Yeah. So, a little bit of power at the right time in the right place goes a very long way. If I'm up on one leg kicking, how am I going to catch a kick? The answer is I'm not. I'm going to catch a kick when I'm prepared for it, when I'm expecting it. For example, I kick him, I move to a leg kick position. Now, right there. Or with a front kick, maybe I'll throw one of these, right? He's going to feel like, okay. He's going to throw one back. Okay? It's a really, really common reaction. So, instead of reacting, let's act. Instead of being programmed, let's program. Right? So again, we kickbox. I kick the leg, I move here. Okay, when else should we throw front kicks and side kicks? How about to finish a combination? Okay, I like to finish combinations with either a jab, moving out, or a push kick after a low kick. So for example, throw a boxing combination up here, a leg kick, boom, and then the front kick. How did he react after that? Boom, boom, boom. I moved into a position where this leg looks particularly vulnerable, especially after throwing this. Right, it's right there. Boom. But since I know there's a high probability he's going to be up on that one leg, and even if not, I throw the kick. If I don't move, I'm in a vulnerable position. I get kicked back. Boom. I immediately follow it up without even thinking. Doesn't matter what he does. Boom, boom. I follow it up with one of these. One of my favorite combinations, 4-point combo, inside, 2, jet hook, kick, hop, hop. Follow with the teeth. Again from this side, inside, 2, 3, kick, boom. And then follow with the teeth. Why does that work? Simply following up a round kick with a push kick. There's a high probability he's trying to counterattack at that moment. If he's counterattacking, he is not catching your kick. Now with the side kick makes a great lead into an attack. And I love the way Chinese Sanda fighters use the side kick. It is the setup to so many movements. Right? There's space between us. Boom! I'm going to bridge that space with the side kick. And now I can grab this and set up my takedown. Or I'm inside, boom, boom, boom. And I use that side kick to get out. Right? Nobody expects a side kick to the head from right here. From this in the pocket range, where I make a nice little frame, I move to my side stance, boom, head kick right there. Boom, bang. I've seen Chinese fighters use this one a lot, right? So, how else? Use the side kick to set up a takedown, right? If I just shoot in, here it comes, it's the same problem with just throwing a slow, sloppy, careful kick that's easy to catch, boom, because he sees it coming. Same thing with a shot. Even a fast shot is pretty easy to stuff for a good fighter who's seen a million shots before. So how about let's throw a side kick, boom. We'll just throw a couple of them, boom, train them in this idea. I want a long range fight, boom, boom. Just kidding, I want to get in here close, or boom. And now we can move into that clinch that we really wanted. So, to recap, 3 things. 1, when you're going light, snap back. Again, chamber, rechamber. That rechamber is super important. That sets you up for not just not getting caught, but for your next attack. Okay? And if you're not good at that, practice getting up on one leg and just throw a bunch of teeps, doubles and triples, and rechamber. Do that like 30 times a day. That'll make you so good. Now, the next thing, side kicks to bridge the gap or to create space. Boom. Front kicks at the end of a kicking combination as a counter strike. We can also use side kicks as a counter strike, especially the back leg side kick. So maybe I'll throw some leg kicks at this guy. Right now I know he's probably going to throw a leg kick back here. So now I can fake the leg kick. And while he's up on one leg, throw a side kick. Or fake the roundhouse, and move into the real side kick there. You know what that is? Back kick. Now, one little tip here. Come over to the heavy bag. And this is really important. When you throw a side kick or a back kick in particular, you want your leg to get very rigid and stiff for a very short period of time, like a split second. Right? When I say rechamber, don't get floppy. There's nothing in that. There's no potential there. And like you said, you don't want to train bad habits. So, we want to get really rigid, like you're trying to punch through concrete, basically, and then pull right back, right? But I'm going to rechamber just as fast. So we can add control, or we can add power, depending on how much we lock the leg out. Right, so that's a bit of a hyperbolic lock. In reality, it's going to be much faster. So, take those tips for what they're worth, my friend. Thanks, Tim. And thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.